What's up, Mananap? Welcome to Code Conyo. So for today, I'm going to discuss about uh, the. I'm going to continue the linked list operation, which is this time we're going to focus on the first operation in adding an element to a list, which is adding at first or at the beginning. So let's go directly by going to our L node. So right here, we are going to have here let's have here a doc, Java doc comment for this one. So this one is going to add, this is add at first, sorry, add at first. And the add at first is going to insert element or data at the beginning of the list. At the beginning of, of the list. Okay. So we have here add parameter, so which is the data of type int. So this would be of type int, and it returns, let's say void, meaning it returns nothing. So let's go directly with our code. So right here we are going to this to type. So public void, let's say add at first, and then we're going to have here int data. So you can have here value. It's up to you, but let's be consistent with uh, what we have named here to maintain. I mean, for us to have a convenient and it would be like easily to keep track of uh, our data members or our variable. So okay, so right here we're going to have here we are going to test first if our node is empty. Just for an instance, if our node is empty, so we have here is empty. So we'll need to make the node become the first node of the list. Okay, so to do that, we'll have to create a new node. So by having here L node, so L node is let's say new node is equal to new L node. So this time we are actually instantiating. Okay, so we are actually instantiating an object of a node, which is new node, and this would be what we are going to use in creating a new node. Okay, so to continue, we have here new node. So new node that data. So we're going to assign the element to that particular node. So if if the user is going to insert a value here, so it will be assigned to the data, and it will be after that assigned to the data as a node. Okay, so let's say for an instance we have here data, and then we are going to make the new node that next points to null. So this would uh, tell or indicate that our node is pointing to nothing or pointing to null. So this assigns the new node points to nothing or null, which means there's no node after this. Okay. Then after that, let's have here new node. Okay, new node. Let's assign this node becomes our head. So to do that, sorry, do that, we'll have to assign this node to be our head. So this would assign the inserted node as the head. Okay. So after that, if the our node is or our list is not empty, then we will have to create an else statement, which means that if it is not empty, then therefore we are going to make that node. Okay, to we are going to make that node to point to the next node, and then that node will be now the head of the list. So to do that, we just have to assign it just the way, that's just the same way we did here. And then after that, so we're going to now assign the our next by with the pointer of the or the address of the head. So we assign the pointer, okay, or address of head to this new node, okay, to this new node. And then we will make this new node as our head, okay, the same. So we're just going to make this new node as our head. So what happens with this one? So I'm going to give you a what they call this one, a representation of how it is actually uh, processing it. So first is, let's say for an instance, if the user is going to like assign the value of, let's say, 7. So the user assigns value of 7 to the data. So therefore, the it creates a new node. So it creates a new node with the data 7. So the data of our node is 7. And then the pointer that points to that the pointer is going to point to nothing or not. So this would create as okay, this would create a new node that points to, let's say, okay, this is our next. So just bear with my handwriting. So let's say, okay, and then this points to null. So meaning it points to nothing, meaning there's no node right after this node. And then we assign this node as our head. For example, we have here the head. Okay, so since our head points to null before, but this time it points to the first node now. So it now points to the first node, which is this one. So instead of our head now pointing to null, meaning to say our head now has the new node, which is the node 7 with the new pointer to it, which is this next pointer. So let's say for an instance, if this head has let's say an address of fx, okay, c is c 0 1 1, that is just as an assuming value of assuming address of our head, so fxc 0 1 1, then therefore the address of this node, which has element or data of 7 with the next pointer, is fxc 0 1 1. So that makes this as the head of the list. Okay, so now what if the uh, the user also is going to call the add at first, and this time he or she signs the 5 to the data. So this time, what will happen is that since at the line 23 right here, okay. So if is empty, since our head now is not it's not pointing to null, therefore our list has already a node. Therefore, it is going to process the else statement. So right here in the else statement, the data is going to be assigned to the new node data as 5, and then the head now, okay, I mean the head now is going to be assigned, meaning the pointer of the head is going to be assigned on the node, on this particular node. So meaning to say that this node that we have created, or that is actually created or inserted, will be or will have the, okay, so let's say this is next. So this is next node, okay, and this actually becomes immediately our new node now. So now what happens is that in the head now, sorry, sorry. So the head now has, which is, yeah. So the head now would be the head. The head now is going to point the new node, which is 5, and this one right here is going to point this one to here, to so that the chain will not be broken, or like it is keeping the link in between each of the node in that particular list. So what happens right here is that the new node, okay, the this one has the address of FXC011. Now, it's the address of this one will be coming from this node that is inserted recently. So what will happen right here is that it creates a node with like this, or it creates a list with like this. So let's say for an instance, this is our head, okay, and then this points to uh, after inserting 7 and 5, this would now have like 5, and then this would be, let's say, our n represents the next node, and this is going to point to the last node, which is 7, and then this would point to null. Okay, so this is what happened when we keep on calling the add at first and we insert element to our list. So basically what happens is that every time you call this add at first, and then when our list is empty, therefore that node will be the head. Now, if ever you call the add at first again and you insert another data or another element to it, then therefore that node that you have inserted will become your head, and then the node that is inserted recently will point to the next node, so that the chain will not be broken again, so that it maintains the link between the nodes in the list. So what happens right here is that if this is fx C011, so let's say fx, basta we have here the address C011. This points to this node right here. So meaning the address of this one is the address that is held by the head. And then the address of n is going to be assigned to this node. So meaning if this is, let's say, fx C012, then therefore this one will, okay, this one will hold the node 7 with which points to nothing or null. Okay, which means that there is no node anymore after that. So this is what happens. Again, the, the address of this 7 and this node, or the address of this node will be the address that is held by this first node, and then the address of this node will be the address that is held by the head, making this as your head. And eventually, as you keep on entering new node with the add at first, it is going to be assigned at the head. So meaning to say, if there is another node, let's say 3, so this 3 right here as a node, this is going to have the node, or the next pointer. So n is the pointer, and this would be, instead of the head now is going to point that node, and then this node right here will be pointing towards the node 5 with the end that points to the 7. So the address of this one will be the address that is held by the head, and then the address of this one will be pointing to the next node, which is the address of this is in on this node, and the address of this one is the same from this node. Okay, so that is actually if you're going to do operations at first. So in our next discussion, I'm going to discuss to you the traversal operation, which allows us to display the list of the nodes. So I guess that would be all for today, and thank you guys for watching this video. Have a great day. See you guys in the next video. So don't forget to subscribe. Bye bye.